Jerry, CNN.com/AM.
Oh, we are, quote, a nation of cowards. Those words from the country's first black attorney general, Eric Holder. He was talking about race relations, his first major speech since being confirmed. Our Jessica Yellen has got more on the attorney general's blunt assessment and the fierce debate that it has sparked.
Stinging words from the nation's first African-American attorney general.
Though this nation has proudly thought of itself as a ethnic melting pot, in things racial, we have always been, and we, I believe, continue to be, in too many ways, essentially a nation of cowards.
He says Americans are afraid to talk about race.
Certain subjects are off limits, and that to explore them risks, at best, embarrassment, and at worst, the questioning of one's character.
And he argues while the workplace is integrated, our private lives are segregated. Conservative bloggers are now slamming the comments as reprehensible and smug. The facts suggest America is socially segregated. While the majority of African Americans live in central cities, the majority of whites live in the suburbs. A new University of Illinois study shows that white Americans are less likely to find a neighborhood desirable if they see African Americans living there. And African Americans have been hit harder by the subprime mortgage crisis and have a 5% higher unemployment rate than the nation as a whole.
Well, it is provocative, but it's accurate. Very well, we don't talk about race in our country. And he's right when he talks about, even in the workplace, we've kind of learned to get along, but we've learned to get along by omitting things.
The Attorney General says he wants to start a new conversation.
I think if we're going to ever make progress, we have to have the guts, we have to have the determination to be honest with each other.
The Attorney General has also committed to making the enforcement of civil rights laws a priority, and he's calling on Department of Justice employees to help promote racial understanding. Jessica Yellen, CNN, Washington.
And another controversy to tell you about this morning, this one over a cartoon in the New York Post newspaper. Civil rights leaders are blasting the publication, saying it's likening President Obama to the violent chimp that was gunned down by police in Connecticut on Monday. Our Anderson Cooper got reaction from a panel of experts last night.
That cartoon is dripping with racism. And to say anything else is to put a gloss on it that I think is just not credible. I mean, we all know what the symbol of chimpanzee and baboons and that sort of thing have been used in the past, and unfairly to smear people in the past. That is the history of racism in this country.
As a proud black man, I don't look at a chimpanzee as an African American. I don't look at it as a reflection of who I am and who African Americans are in this country. And frankly, if it's supposed to be a portrayal of President Barack Obama, the president didn't write the stimulus bill.
There was no chimpanzee with a sign underneath it that said Congress or said Pelosi or said House Democrats. And so to sit here and to say that you can't equate the two, no, we understand that there's a history and a legacy. And when you talk about caricatures of Bush and Reagan, we also understood the criticism of people who became the sexism with Senator Hillary Clinton in the race. There's a history there. There's a legacy there. That's the whole point. Ron,
okay,
I run three newspapers. If a cartoonist came to me with that cartoon, I would say, what is this? What exactly are you trying to say?
Okay,
do you
Roland,
understand what this means?
The cartoonist calls the controversy, quote, absolutely friggin' ridiculous. As for the White House, Press Secretary Robert Gibbs says while he hasn't seen the cartoon, it's not really newsworthy, and he says he doesn't spend much time reading the New York Post.
We'll dig there.
One of those guilty pleasures.
Well, still to come, a shocking trend is on the rise. More women robbing banks.